All right, boys and Bass Reeves, let's talk about the AFC playoff picture first. And Brent, I'm going to start at the bottom, and then you tell me when to stop when I get to a team that you think has a chance to make a playoff run. Okay. New England. You want me to keep going? The Jets, the Titans, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Bengals, the Bills.
I'll stop you there. The Bills obviously have a chance at 6-6. It's not great. They should have won the game against the Eagles. They'd be in real good shape at 7-5. I think you could talk me into the Bengals if Joe Burrow is healthy. He's not. He won't be back. I don't know if you know that, Breach. The Raiders, if they didn't have chunky Derek Carr, Aiden O'Connell, he's like,
dare you?
He's just bigger Derek Carr. How about that? He's got
a baby face.
Now the Carr family and the O'Connell family hates
I know, right?
As my buddy Darren Smith said, texted me, he's like, can you tell? Doesn't he look like he's like an older member of the Carr family? Like he's got mascara and he looks emo. I'm telling you, watch him the next time they cut to his face. And then you could talk me to the Chargers if they weren't the Chargers, but at 4-7, I think that's kind of the cutoff. The Chargers have a 5% chance of making the playoffs. The Bills have a 15% chance of making the playoffs. So I think the Bills is probably the cutoff there.
So, Breach, let me ask you a couple things. First of all, congratulations. You called the Colts last week, and everyone laughed at you except me. I was buying that, but Pete Prisco thought you were crazy. So let's too. We'll give you that, sure. Me and Brinson, not Prisco. So, Breach, I'm going to give you 7, 8, 9, and 10, and you give me the final order. And in fact, you include 6, which is currently the Browns. So the Browns and the Colts are currently in, and then tell me between those two teams, and then these three, Houston, Denver, Buffalo, who are just on the outside looking in, what are your final 2 slots? Because I'm assuming the Steelers are going.
Yes, Steelers. I don't even know if the Colts make it now.
If the Steelers drop one of the next 2 against Arizona and New England, then that's a whole different ballgame. But yeah, if they win the next 2, they're in.
Wait, why are you out on the Colts?
No, I'm not on the Colts. Don't listen to me. I'm number 1 Gardner Minshew fan club. I'm the president of his fan club. He sends me his sweaty headband after every game. He doesn't, but Gardner, if you're listening, I'll take it.
And you will take it.
I'll put it in my office.
They've done a great job defensively, as you can see on the graphic here the last 3 weeks. Just 13 points allowed. I still think Houston.
I want to get Breach's thing.
I was going to give him time to think about it.
I don't need time to think about it. I was getting to my point. I was talking about being president of the Gardner Minshew fan club. I don't take that job lightly, Brinson. Colts, Steelers, and I would give the final spot to the Browns or Texans. And Brinson, you can now talk, and I'll figure out if I want the Browns or Texans.
All right, here's my hot take.
Texans.
The 5, 6, and 7 seeds in the AFC will swap places with the 8, 9, and 10 seeds in the AFC.
Okay.
What?
Houston, Denver, and Buffalo make the playoffs as the wild cards.
Okay.
That's a hot take.
That is hot, but that's why we're here.
I stand by my take from last week. I don't think Cleveland's making it.
No, I don't think that's a bold prediction there.
Oh, you called me crazy last week when I said
that.
I
called you crazy.
Okay.
I said their schedule was easy and that they were a lock to make it, and then everyone in Cleveland hates you and that you wouldn't be welcome there ever. Yeah, it was definitely me that called you crazy.
Okay,
they're still at 66% to make it, so they're in good shape. Yeah. Colts at 43, Texas at 58, which is odd considering the Colts are ahead of them, but there you go.
Yeah, but the Browns, I think the Browns are probably the squeaky wheel there to make up an analogy. All right, how about this before we move on to the NFC? Who's going to be the number 1 seed?
I think it's Baltimore.
In the AFC?
Yeah, the AFC.
Actually, no, I'll take Jacksonville. I'll stick by my Jacksonville take. They have to play Jake Browning, some combination of Dorian Thompson, Robinson, and PJ Walker. They got the Lamar, but they get him at home. You got to beat, and I believe that the Ravens have the Rams at home and then travel to the Jaguars, then at San Francisco, which is a huge game. Like
the Ravens have the most difficult remaining strength of schedule.
That's why I said the Week 18 matchup with Pittsburgh may be less enticing than perhaps we think it is right now.
I heard a lot of teams out of Brinson's mouth. I did not hear the Chiefs, Brinson. You don't think they can get the top seed?
Chiefs get the top seed. They gotta win over the Jaguars. But they have the Packers, Bills, Pats, Raiders, Bengals, Chargers remaining. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds. Preseason, that's tough. Now you're like, oh, that's the easiest schedule on planet Earth.
I'm going to say the Chiefs because I think the Ravens' schedule is going to be incredibly tough, and I think more importantly that Week 18 matchup with the Steelers, Kenny Pickett's going to throw for 500 yards.
I think the Chiefs get it too.
I was trying to find. Usually they have. Usually DraftKings has.
The odds for the number one overall seed.
Odds for the number one seed, but it's not up right now for some reason. I guess because I don't know why it's not. But yeah, I mean, I would think the Chiefs are probably the favorite. And dude, look, the Chiefs are doing, and this is kind of an underrated, like no bleep Sherlock type of thing that the Patriots did. But they got the 1 seed, eliminated one of the weeks they had, or 1 or 2 seed back then, eliminated one of the weeks they had to play in the playoffs, and tried to maximize the number of times you had home field advantage. Like that's the reason the Chiefs have won 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls and been in like what 3 or 4 and then lost to I mean like the Chiefs are always there because they're always hosting the AFC Championship game. You have a massive home field advantage. It's basically the new Patriots. And so if you want to steal a Super Bowl berth out of the AFC in the next 10 years, you better get that number 1 seed. And the Ravens and the Jaguars are the only teams with a chance to do it.
All right. We'll find out together. And the Steelers. Don't forget
What about the Dolphins? They're also
Dolphins. All right. Breach. We're going to the NFC, and I'll play the same game with you. I'll start at the bottom. Tell me where to stop. Somehow the Carolina Panthers are still alive. David Tepper. Frank Reich should tell David Tepper that before he fires him. Keep going. Okay. Arizona.
Keep going. I like Cardinal. I'm out.
Chicago.
Out.
Washington.
Out.
Thing is, 2 weeks ago, we'd all be in on Washington. The New York Giants somehow the same record as Washington. Sweet mercy alive. Tampa Bay.
No.
New Orleans.
No.
The Rams.
Oh man, the Giants had to play the Eagles twice. That's
Green Bay. Oh, you're in on the
Rams.
Okay, the Rams are the 9th seed. They're currently 5-6. They are as good as their quarterback will allow them to be. They have some guys on defense getting after it, but I think they have a lot of how am I trying to say this? They're playing with one arm tied behind their back. It feels like a lot of times.
If Stafford doesn't play, this team stinks.
Well, yes. I think Breach has a story for you when it comes to Joe Burrow and the Bengals as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that like, that's actually a really good comparison. I mean, the Bengals, you
can't lose
Joe
your
Burrow
quarterback unless you're Gardner Minshew. Breach's second favorite player,
right? Or Atlanta with Desmond Ridder.
Well, but the flip side is look what the Rams did today. Look what happens with Matthew Stafford actually gets some help from their ground game because the Rams rushing attack has been non-existent. Then they finally get Kyron Williams back, and boom, over 200 total yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that Stafford you trust also at bandwagon for the past 2 weeks.
Years, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, pick them to go to the Super Bowl the year they won the Super Bowl. Pick them to go to the Super Bowl the year they won the Super Bowl. I think they look good. Their offense is good again, even though they seem
out if the Rams are dropping in.
Called it a couple weeks ago. Like they have Dallas, San Francisco, and Philly coming up. The Giants would be really interesting if you knew that Philly locked down the 1 seed. I'm serious.
The Giants to the playoffs?
The Giants the Giants had to go on their bye.
How long did I fall asleep for?
15 years.
In 2023? In this economy?
They have the Packers at home, at the Saints, at the Eagles versus the Rams, and then versus the Eagles in Week 18 when the Eagles might not play anybody.
They could lose to nobody. They scored 10 points against Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi.
With Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito has as many wins as the Patriots do. Bill Belichick and Tommy DeVito have the same number of wins this year.
All right, give me
Tommy DeVito beat him straight up.
Who's slipping into the bottom half of the playoff picture here on the NFC for you?
Obviously, I'm taking the Rams. I think Rams and Seattle is an easy flip. I called Atlanta sliding into the 4 seed last week. And so then it really comes down to Minnesota. and Green Bay.
Green Bay's playing better.
Jordan Love looked pretty sharp. They play each other in Week 17, Sunday Night Football. The Vikings still have to play at the Raiders, at the Bengals, and the Lions twice before their bye after their bye this week. The Packers have the Chiefs, Giants, Bucks, Panthers, Vikings, and Bears. I'm gonna say, as much as I love the Viking story. As much as I love the Viking story. I'm gonna say the 6 and 7 seeds for the NFC are the Packers and the Rams in some